Hello and welcome to another episode of Film Freaks with a Z, the podcast all about movies, sometimes with a Z at the end. If you want to join in on the fan vote, that's right. It's going to happen next episode. It's going to be attached to the next episode's promotional tweet. So if you want to jump over there and vote on the movie, that'll be up on the next episode along with Tay's recommendation. I think we got a few new movies, and we're going to mix in some older ones as well that were recommended before. If you want to get your movie into the next vote, just go ahead and send us an email at ff.filmfreaks@gmail.com. Or you can join my Discord and talk in the movie reviews section and recommend a movie there. Or, of course, the easiest way, you can comment on the latest episode of Film Freaks with a Z, your movie recommendation. Alright, well, before we introduce today's movie, let's introduce ourselves. I am Yemmy the Ferret. Who am I here with?
Is I Gritty Waffle.
And I, Taymation.
And I, slightly surprised, Coco Gamer.
Slightly surprised?
Yeah, by Washington tonight.
Washington football team, okay.
Yeah.
Context.
Yeah, by the time this comes out, people will be like, what happened to Washington?
Yeah.
Coco's talking about the game on the 22nd of November. That's the day we're recording. Lots of interesting football games today, but that's not what we're here to talk about. No. Greedy Waffles, a.k.a. Nicholas, has a recommendation for us today. What did you suggest?
So I picked a comedy/horror movie, and that movie is Scary Movie 3. Scary Movie 3, what's it about? Cindy must investigate mysterious cycles and videotapes and help the president in preventing an alien invasion. Director is David Zucker, who has some of the stars. Anna Faris, Charlie Sheen, Regina Hall, let's see, Kevin Hart was in there, Dexter Bell, pretty much Simon Rex.
Don't forget Leslie
I'd have to
Nelson.
name everyone. Oh yeah, Leslie Nelson. And the list I'm looking at doesn't even have Kevin Hart listed. Anyways,
he's not really that important.
So I'm going to start off. Since I just listed a whole group of actors, what do you guys think about their performance? And I don't want to necessarily grade their performance, but their role and their punchline and the way they delivered it. What do you guys think of it?
Look, Leslie Nelson, rest in peace. Love him. He was probably the best part of this movie, even though he had limited scenes. And his performance was he would tell his jokes deadpan. So, when the aliens are peeing and he's like, we're not so different. It's not like he's putting on a funny voice or anything like that. He just kind of does it. And I really enjoyed his performance in particular because he's kind of like that in most of his movies where he's kind of serious, but he's joking. So you think of the Naked Gun and Airplane and stuff like that. He kind of has the same jokes throughout. And in this movie, they kind of wrote his character around that. And it worked really, really well. And all his scenes were really, really funny. And I think that he was probably the best in the movie.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think his role as the playing as a serious but funny, careless president, I guess you could say. I think that it fit his role perfectly, and I agree with you that I wish it didn't take 30 minutes into the movie or whatever it was to start seeing lines from him. Yeah.
I wish they had incorporated him a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. Anna Faris, I don't think he did a great job.
Yeah,
I don't know, that's just kind of her acting style, but I always just feel
it's a little
could you act, please?
Yeah, she's kind of the same in every single movie where it's oh my gosh. It's the same. Yeah. It's kind of the same shtick every movie for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Queen Latifah was surprisingly really funny in this too. Mm-hmm. I forgot about her performance. She was the psychic or the Oracle.
Yeah.
I love that part where she's like beating up the lady in the TV, and she does like the final punch, and it destroys the set. That was so funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's like childish, but when she sits down in the chair and does the huge fart, that put a smile on my face.
Because fart
It's
jokes
a
are
chair.
always funny.
What about I think CJ and Raekwon. I think those guys, they delivered some good performances as well.
Yeah, especially like CJ is like the kind of like dumb like I don't know like what they would call it, but like dumb musical I don't even know what I would describe his character as because it was kept kind of changing throughout the movie a bit. But other than that, still like him like arguing with his father, saying he was black. That actually made me laugh for some reason.
Yeah, there's some lines in here that catch you off guard, like that one where he's like, "You hate me
Yeah.
because I'm black." It's like, I think the whole section where they parried what was it called? What's that movie with Eminem?
8 Mile?
Eighth Mile, or
Or something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that whole segment because I think it really encapsulated like all those moments from the movie, and then they, you know, I mean, it's not like the best rendition like parody, but
Yeah.
I thought it was really good how they kind of. This movie does a good job of like incorporating all these different parodies of movies, kind of making them connect together. I don't know if I would say good job, but they did a pretty good job, and it all kind of comes together. And I think the 8th Mile stuff helps connect a bunch of the story.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, they all connected Children of the Corn, right? And The Ring, and
There was the others in there.
others.
What's the movie with the crop circles? Because I've seen
That's
that one.
Signs.
That's Signs. Okay.
Science. Yeah.
Yeah.
Matrix is in there because you have Oracle and Morpheus.
And also The Architect.
Just like a bunch of movies all mixed together.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what they do with those parodies. So
Yeah.
they just
I think in
try to
terms
get
of
as
guys-
many of the movies as possible.
well, yeah, I think in terms of like all the movies that I've seen, like the movie genre, like this one does, I think, the best job of combining all the movies together. Whereas things like disaster movie and epic movie and I guess I wouldn't say date movie as much, but those movies kind of drop the ball and they just kind of like, it's like, oh, it's a reference. Oh, here's Batman and he's dumb. Okay, well that doesn't fit the context of the scene. Whereas in like Scary Movie 3, when she puts the knife down and the aliens are on the other side of the door, it's funny because it's a part of this movie and it's also a part of the Signs. And it's like a parody of it, and it actually fits in with the narrative because they're in the house that has the well in it, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think I agree. He did. I mean, they did a pretty good job of, tying all these different movies that they're parodying together to make them cohesive. There's a few in there where I was like, this seems a little random to switch to this, but
Yeah,
you gotta
like
get
they
in as
tried
many
to
movies as
force it in there.
Yeah, like I felt the others one, like where the little girl is underneath the sheet and is like, "I am your daughter." Like that whole thing. That's from the others. I think it was called the others. It was
You
with
mean
Nicole
Michael
Kidman.
Jackson?
Yeah, well, in this one it's Michael Jackson. But like that whole scene just felt pretty much. I think most of the scenes with Charlie Sheen felt a little just forced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a real force.
I wouldn't say the ending, but some of those scenes in the middle, like all of a sudden that random guy drives up in the car and tells a story about his wife's death. Even though it's funny, it's a funny like segment.
Yeah,
It's-
and that is in Signs.
Yeah.
And Charlie Sheen is supposed to be pretty much everything Signs, but it still felt a little random. You're just like, what? Okay. And then, like I said, the others one was also Charlie Sheen. That one felt forced. Where it's just like, okay.
I feel like
Michael
they had
Jackson,
the idea
no.
for it, and then they were like, how do we put this in the context of the scene? Okay, well, it's an alien wearing a mask, which
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is weird because, like, anytime, like, in the little news clips, every time we saw an alien, they weren't dressing up as people. They were just being themselves. So
Yeah.
it didn't.
Just
doesn't
walking
really
by,
make sense.
it's like, see you again.
Yeah.
Smoking.
Why is this alien dressing up as Michael Jackson, I guess, so we can get some pedo jokes in there?
I don't know. It's just
Yeah, some of the joke. I think a lot of the jokes held up, but there's also some jokes in there that didn't really hold up. And I think some of the slapstick also was a little bit obnoxious at times. Um, like when the first time the kid's like getting like CJ comes in and accidentally hits him with something, and then he knees him in the head, and then he puts him up to the fan. I laughed at that, sure. But then the next time, and the next time, and the next time the car hits
Yeah, I
him,
kept going over and over.
I think it was a little bit much. I remember laughing at it a lot when I was in high school, but nowadays it's like, well, it's funny the first time, but then you kind of overdose on it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, same with
that kid took so much abuse.
Same with Sue's teacher dying, where the whole funeral scene. I felt that one. Like, that's where I felt that one. I was like, oh, okay, this seems a little.
Yeah,
And then they
kept
try
getting
to-
worse.
I actually
And
I
then,
enjoyed that part where they were trying to revive her. I thought that was hilarious. And then CJ gets thrown out the window, and he's like, "That's the last time I'm ever trying to save someone's life or revive someone from the dead again."
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what the thing is, like, how many windows does it get thrown out of? It's a true question. Like,
That's what I was gonna say. Is like they re-emphasize that joke of him getting thrown out again. I was like, oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a running joke.
yeah.
Like I liked him being thrown out of windows. That was fine. But yeah, the whole funeral scene didn't really. Like I remember thinking it was pretty funny is when I was younger, high school around that area, whenever this came out. But now I'm just like, I don't think I laughed at all this whole time rewatching it.
Oh, you mean like the whole movie in general, or just the funeral part?
The whole movie. Like there was a
Uh-oh.
few kind of made me a little like, that was okay. That one kind of held up. But most part, I was just like,
Yeah, just
So,
sorry.
go ahead.
There's just some moments in this movie where I was like, oh, geez, like, can we just get past this? Like, when she was like talking to like, I think when she was going to leave to, I'm trying to remember the part. Sorry, when she was going to leave to like get to go to the psychic, I think. Like I feel like that scene was just like, I think the scene was just dragged on like way too long. Because he was just getting knocked around, and she kept talking to him. I'm like, stop talking, just go. Especially if like you said like, oh, son is going to die in 7 days. Let's go. Like, no, let's just talk and talk very slowly.
I think that was before the son watched the tape,
Well, yeah,
because he watched the tape the night that CJ was watching him. The night
Yeah,
that
that was after
the night
the
that the
Yahtzee
priest was
joke.
watching her, he didn't watch it then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that was he had the Yahtzee choke in his head, and then
Yeah.
he was watching the tape. So
Oh, yeah, that's true.
yeah, because you're talking about the time she watched the movie, and the caller calls him, and she's like asking like, is that 7 business days or is that 7 non-business days?
So that scene also just like, oh my god, just get past it already. It's
Yeah, it doesn't include holidays, but all day.
I mean, it's not like these jokes like took so long that you start to feel it drag on. I feel like everything's like kind of like fast paced, in my opinion.
Yeah,
like
I'm just-
it's not like they hang on something for so long. I mean, sure, you might get annoyed with the joke, but it's not like it lasts for 10 minutes. It's like one of those things where it's like it's a minute, or so, and yeah, they're kind of going through this joke that maybe it's not working anymore, or you're not laughing at it, but. Maybe it feels longer to you because you're the one sitting there watching it and not enjoying it, but because you could say the same thing for when Kevin Hart and his friend are debating, if rats are mice or mouses or rats. You could say the same thing,
That's my favorite part.
but yeah, like I enjoyed that part, so I
did
was,
enjoy that part,
I
though.
liked it, and
Yeah,
it kind of went
yeah,
by
that was-
fast. And then you can say the same thing about the part that we were just talking about, where someone could be enjoying that and it goes by fast.
Yeah, I guess
Well,
that's
Just that type of humor they were aiming for at the time. I just think people, like, oh, they're asking, does it include holidays? Like, everyone's going to say, obviously it doesn't, or it does. But,
Yeah, I think that most
Who
people say
knows?
it doesn't. If you've seen Rings, it's like 7 days on the dot.
Yeah.
Although the girl didn't come out to kill her at night. She came out to kill her during the day,
Yeah.
if you recall.
It's just like random or something. Is this or some like on some days like, well, sometime during this day you could die though, but Because it seemed like it was a little like.
Well, no, because her friend was killed exactly on the dot, and so was remember that the girls at the beginning, the one girl was talking about how she had watched it, at 7 at night or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a comedy movie. They're not gonna.
Yeah,
be
it's
like,
not gonna be
"Oh,
too
this
serious.
is scripted."
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna bash
Yeah,
the
I was
movie
like,
for it.
I
I'm
was
just
watching the movie
pointing
and
out
it's like, I
something that
can't
was
take-
a little bit obvious to me. It's a
Yeah.
they could have
I
just
was
just changed the lighting to be at night, but maybe that wouldn't have worked for the other jokes during that during the whole sequence.
Yeah, I was like watching movies like I can't take it seriously. I can't take it seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I think part of my problem, like with a lot of it, is just because I did watch it quite a bit when I was younger, and I don't think I don't know, nothing was like fresh or new. It was just like, oh, that was funny because I hadn't heard. I was just like, I've heard this all before.
Yeah,
And
I've
maybe
watched
if I
it
came in
millions of
like
times,
not
too.
seeing it all, I might have enjoyed it a little more. But there was just, like I said, there still were a few times where I kind of chuckled, but no like laugh out loud moments for me.
Yeah, kind of the opposite for me. I had a few moments where I was laughing out loud, and I have seen this movie a lot of times, as Nick knows, and there were still moments in there that got me laughing, as I already kind of mentioned some of them.
Yeah. What did you guys think of the first scene, like with the two girls? 'Cause I
The
thought
beginning
that
of
was
the
a
movie
little
was
like
awful.
dragged on a little.
Yeah, the
Yeah, the
beginning
beginning
is
of the movie was the worst.
yeah, it's probably
Yeah.
my least favorite thing about this movie, or the
I always forget that scene exists until I think I remember like watching. I was like, oh yeah, this is a thing. And I'm like, I think I remember thinking that last time I watched this, like 15 years ago.
The funny
I was
thing
like,
is,
oh yeah, this scene's a thing.
I thought that scene, I thought I put in the wrong movie. I was like, is this Scary Movie 1? Because I remember there being a very similar scene in Scary Movie 1. And then it was a little bit different with the ring stuff, and I was like, "Oh, okay, so it is the right movie." And I almost took the the DVD out of my PlayStation. I was like, "Is this the right one?" Because I feel like this is part of the first movie.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. Yeah, there was some parts I'm like, am I watching the right movie? Because I don't remember this at all.
How many of the scary movies have you all seen? Have you all seen them all?
I only seen Scary
seen
Movie 3, but I think I.
Oh, so Coco just lied to us about.
Yeah.
I think I watched Scary Movie. I can't remember because it's been a while since I watched any scary movies.
Yeah,
But
I've
I
only
remember watching
seen
something
3
else.
and 4.
I can't remember though.
Okay, well, the first two are actually okay. This one's the best one, of course. 4 is
Yeah.
garbage. 5 is complete dog shit.
Oh, I didn't even know there was
Yeah.
a 5th one.
Oh yeah, there's a
Yeah,
fifth
it's
one.
bad.
It's
bad.
I remember buying it on Blu-ray because at the time I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be like a walk down memory lane." And then you watch it, and it's like,
Why am I watching? Why did I buy this?
yeah, I sold it at like the local used store like the next day. I didn't even make it through that one. It was just so bad.
Yeah.
4 is
I never saw the
bad,
first
but
two.
5 is like astronomically bad. It's crazy.
Yeah.
5 is
I
like
like because
unwatchable.
the first 2 were by the Wayans brothers,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I don't know. I never saw them. I didn't hear they. I heard they weren't like amazing or anything, so I was like never cared. But then this one came out, and I think it was this actually directed by the guy who did like Naked Gun and stuff. And that's why Leslie Nielsen was in it.
David Sucker, so I don't know what his history is. Hold on.
Yes, he did do Naked Gun, Airplane, Naked
Airplane,
Gun,
Okay.
Scary
Naked Gun
Movie
2 and a
4.
half.
Yeah, he
Nah.
did.
Yeah, he
Scary
did
Movie
4.
4 too.
Yeah,
He has a good
which is why
repertoire
I
for
think-
comedies. I mean, the only
Yeah.
oddball in here is Scary Movie 4 because that one's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
King
Well,
Kong's
that's why I
okay.
saw
My
this
biggest
one.
pet peeve about Scary Movie 4 is King Kong's on the cover, but King Kong is not in the movie.
Yeah, I remember
makes
that
no
now.
sense.
It makes no sense. I was like, what the fuck, man?
If someone
Yeah.
got to edit
It's like
out.
putting Thanos on DC movies. It's like, oh, it's like, yeah, put him on the cover. It's like, why? Just do it. It will give us money.
But yeah, I mean, Airplane's one of my favorite comedies of all time.
Oh,
and the
Airplane-
Naked Gun 1 and 2 are fantastic.
Mhm.
So he's got a
I
good
don't remember
repertoire.
Airplane.
Yeah.
Anyway, never mind. I think I was gonna say something, but completely forgot.
yeah.
I actually want to go back
Sure.
to the actors real quick. What do you guys think about the kid, Cody? I think he was used a little too much in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
both of the kids were just kind of, I don't know. They just kind of they seem to be reading their lines. I think Cody did a better job because he was supposed to be more, monotone, and he's the psychic kid or whatever who's, doing all this stuff. I think it worked better for him. But the little girl, like, the scene that always boggles my mind is like she's just screaming in the middle of a cornfield at nothing, and she's just screaming.
Going down, Yemmy. Like, I don't know why she would be in the middle of a cornfield, but explaining that, it's like, oh no, the corn is down. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, unless she witnessed it happening, but they didn't, like, I don't know, they didn't show it.
She's like just in the middle of a cornfield for no reason, absolutely.
That's because of Children of the Corn. Yeah, or Sign.
No, I think in Signs that, like, that's how the movie starts. Is the dad wakes up to his kids screaming. Obviously he doesn't. He immediately goes out to the kids to see why they're screaming. While in this, he decides to take a leak. A leak and whatever.
They do the whole screaming bit where he doesn't scream right until he's urinating.
Yeah. So, but I think that was just because that's how Signs started. That's why they did that in this. Like, I don't know if it was even a reference to Children of the Corn.
I don't
know. I've never seen Children of the Corn, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought that was in Children of the Corn, where the children are like screaming and the parent, like, people like hear the screaming. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember. I really don't remember.
I don't remember.
Funny anecdote though. When I was a kid, there was this kids movie that I would watch, and I would rent it from Blockbuster. And one day, we went out there, we rented it. The guy put the DVD into the case, and we moved on. And I got home and I put it in, and Children of the Corn started playing because he put the wrong DVD in there. And oddly enough, it was Children of the Corn, and I immediately shut it off because I was a scaredy kid. And it was just one of those things. I was like, "Oh, that was kind of jarring." I'm expecting to watch like Shrek or something, and there's Children of the Corn on the screen.
He did that on purpose, by the way.
Maybe.
He looked at you and went, "Yep, screw this kid." What are we talking about?
So, what was some of your guys' favorite gag jokes? I guess, like, mine is the "How do you wake up dead" part. I thought that was funny, or the President Harris part where he's like, "Oh, we're not so different after all."
Yeah.
I like the scene where President Harris was just, it's gonna be like a scene with him if he's punching everyone, basically.
Oh yeah.
Just one of my favorite moments was just starts punching random people.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta love that part where he's like, "Get me the train wood," or whatever it was called. The prop the door, and he hits him in the balls, and he's like, "My balls," and he grabs the bowling balls, and then he's like, "Jesus," and he's like, "No," as he brings over Jesus. That's always one of my favorites.
I do. Speaking of that part, I do like that twist where Simon screams like Susan, and he's like, "Susan, shut up," and then he's like, "It wasn't me." I thought that was a good twist because the whole movie she was the one screaming, so you're like, "Oh, geez, not again," and then you realize it was George.
It was George. Yeah. Yeah. Mine. No comment.
Oh, wow.
I can't think of any that I'm like.
There's Tay's rating right there.
Yeah, I cannot think of any that I was like, "Yeah, that one still held up, was still funny."
Cindy, the TV's leaking.
Yeah, no, it is that. It's that scene where she's beating up the ring girl because it's like, finally, somebody just punched her.
Yeah.
No, anyone could punch her. But then she just pulls out some kung fu or martial arts, and it's like, "Oh, well, no, you did."
This bitch is messing up my floor.
Yeah. I
think it's exactly how a lot of people probably wouldn't react. They'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. I mean, if Ring came out in 2020, I don't think anyone would be surprised.
Oh, oddly enough, there was a movie in like 2018, a remake of Ring. So there you go.
Yep. So here they come. Pops out. Well, I'm just gonna beat her.
I always found the mixing up the Ring movie with the Pootie Tang movie. I always found that kind of funny. It kind of the same thing happened where he's like, I put the wrong VHS into the box, and then I like how the aliens, the joke kind of comes around because the aliens are like, we were trying to stream Pootie Tang, and the Ring movie came on, so now our whole race is gonna die in 7 days.
Yeah.
So going off your favorite jokes, what's some of the, if you guys remember, I don't mean to put you guys on the spot, like, what are some of the jokes that you guys don't think aged well?
Well, there was I noticed there was a lot of like gay jokes and stuff like that I don't think really held up at all.
Yeah,
There
the
was,
Michael Jackson part was doesn't hold up at all. I didn't like that at all.
I can't. Like I know I had one before, but it slipped my mind now. So of course it does.
No, also the part when all the people from the hood start shooting each other.
Oh yeah, that.
Oh yeah, that one didn't. Yeah, that was like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like all the stereotype jokes did not hold up at all.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of stereotype jokes, unfortunately.
Well, it's a scary movie, so you can't expect some stereotype jokes.
Yeah, it's not as bad as like Epic Movie was with the stereotypes and stuff like that. So at least
You guys,
that's a positive.
You guys pick up the Yo Mama joke from the gang member?
Yeah,
I think I remember.
Yeah,
I think so, but I'm not sure.
I thought you guys would all laugh at that.
You sound disappointed.
Yeah, I kind of am.
I don't know if I know what joke you're talking about even.
Well, the guy stepped on, the gang member showed up, so this is where the president shows up
Oh right,
to the house,
okay.
and he's like, "You stepped on my shoe," and then they all get in a fight, they're all saying things back and forth, and all of a sudden it's this guy. He's like, "Yo, mama." It was so quick. It was like 2 seconds, not even.
I didn't notice.
It probably went by too fast. My mind didn't remember it.
One joke I think didn't age very well is the newscast jokes, because everybody hates the news nowadays. So I think at least the time we're in right now, I think that didn't age well.
Oh, a scene I did not like was like the twin scene. When he was
Yeah.
the scene was just like, it's actually kind of like, it wasn't like funny. It was just like, it's kind of gross.
What
Oh
chart?
yeah, when they all
Yeah,
start
it was
making
when
the guy
it-
makes out with everyone and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right. Anything else you guys want to say about it?
I do want to say that this movie looks like a Hallmark movie, the cinematography wise. Nothing really
Yeah.
special going on. It just kind of feels like a I don't know, it just feels like a 4 TV movie, you know.
Yeah, I can see that. Or
Like
nothing
something you
special
just-
stands out. It's just very basic lighting, pretty much like straight on shots.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't
Yeah,
really try to do
something
anything
to be,
special with it, and like even like I don't know if it's like the type of camera they used or something like that. Even looked kind of. It just nothing like their eyes were like too white or something at times, and just made things look a little weird. I don't know. I don't know if it was like the lighting
Came out in
effects or whatever.
2003, so-
And that's the same year as Master and Commander, and that movie looked fantastic. So I'm just saying, like it looked like a 4 TV, like a movie you would see on Hallmark. You know, nothing special. You know.
They didn't,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
nothing.
2
Like they
wins
didn't
and
try to
4
do anything fancy. They just cameras, like I said, it's put in place. Lights were very just 3-point lighting kind of thing, where there was nothing fancy or like getting cool shadows or anything like that. And it was just shot,
They didn't take
safely,
themselves
I
too
guess.
seriously though for the movie, so I would.
Yeah, it has 2 wins and 4 nominations. So.
Oscars?
That's it.
Really?
It just says 2 wins. It's BMI Film and TV Awards.
Okay, well those don't count.
Okay,
And
yeah.
MTV Movie plus TV Awards in 2004.
MTV? Wow. Oh, man. I'm sorry. I take back
I
everything I
understand
say about Best Cameo. Best Cameo, Nick.
Yep, Simon Cowell.
Yeah, Simon Cowell. Which that
Just
part
'cause
was kind of
everybody
funny.
wanted
That
to
was
shoot him
Yeah.
back in the day. And they just felt so good to see him get shot.
When you said it won awards, I was like, "What? This thing's was at the Oscars? No."
I had to get you guys
Movie
excited.
Awards.
I had to get you
Best
guys
cameo.
excited.
That's funny.
It won Timmy's Best Movie of 2003.
It was a
Yeah.
nominee for a
Who's
Blimp
Timmy?
Award at the Kids' Choice Awards in 2004.
Yep.
Favorite movie actress,
Choice
Queen
Award.
Latifah.
And Stinker Award in 2003.
Nice.
It was a nominee.
Yeah.
Stinker Award.
Choice movie your parents didn't want you to see. That was the Teen Choice Award for this movie.
Yeah. Wow.
Talk about the old days.
Yeah.
Also, like, I want to say that actually was pretty funny to me was the aliens versions of Hello and Goodbye choking somebody and kick them in the balls.
Yeah.
I'm glad like the only one that got kicked in the balls was George. 'Cause I feel like he deserved it. 'Cause-
I remember something that bothered me now is the cop that shows up about the crops or cycles, whatever.
Circles?
I said cycles because that's how George says it.
Yeah. Cops like
That kind of annoyed me, just the way her acting and all that.
Well, I liked how her hat was getting bigger every
Yeah.
time they went back to her. Yeah, I didn't find it. I mean, I think she was trying to act weird, because that's how it kind of is in Signs.
Because everyone acts poorly in Signs.
Oh. And the whole scene where Charlie Sheen's wife is cut in half.
Yeah, that was bad. I'll agree
You
with that.
you didn't like the. Oh, you're talking about the acting. Okay, I thought you were talking about him trying to, use the props and all that.
Well, that part was fun, but you said the part where she was
Yeah.
cut in half, which that made me think of the part where he's he's actually talking to her when she's cut in half. I didn't like that. I liked the part before that, of course, but the part I don't know, it was kind of weird.
Or it was very Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, that is true.
Remember last episode when Nick said everyone's favorite or the lovable Charlie Sheen?
Guess it was a joke.
Oh, okay, all right,
Because nobody likes Charlie Sheen.
not anymore.
Nope.
I guess that's another joke that didn't age. Is Charlie Sheen?
I mean,
Didn't age
he has
well.
some funny stuff, but as a person, you kind of what he did. He
Yeah.
does, and
Yeah. All right. Should we move on to ratings? Anything else?
I
we got
think I've
much
said my piece.
Yeah, I think I've said mine too.
Okay, well, I'll start off. Scary Movie 3 from 2003 by David Zucker. I enjoyed it. I mean, I still think the jokes, some jokes still live up to its hype. I shouldn't say hype, but it still made me laugh here and there, even though I said it 1,000 times, and some of mine Yemmy's jokes, we still reference some of these jokes. And I think I just haven't seen it in such a while. It was a good refresher point. So I don't mind this movie. It sounds like you guys hated it, but I'm gonna give this movie a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, oddly enough, I still enjoy this one. It's like a guilty pleasure kind of movie. There's some things that don't hold up, but I mean the jokes go by so quickly that it's like, if I'm not enjoying a part where the wife's being cut in half by a car, it's not like it's gonna stick around for a while. So that's the one thing that's kind of going for it. Where if the jokes lasted longer, I'd probably reduce my rating a little bit. But there are some jokes in there that obviously didn't age well. There's some of the slapstick that was a little bit obnoxious. Some of the acting was a little bit obnoxious as well, but there was also some genuinely funny moments. And if you like Signs or any of these other movies, this one does do a good job of parodying all these different scary movies and a few more serious movies together. And I think that it does a good job as a whole of connecting all these universes together. And all in all, and as I mentioned at the end, it wasn't really it wasn't a special movie. It was just kind of looked like a generically shot movie. But in the end, Leslie Nielsen was really good in this, and he's a gem, and I miss him so. And I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go, I guess. And so, as I said, I liked this movie as a kid. Or I guess by kid, I mean, 15, 20 years ago, whenever it came out. Yeah, I was still a kid. And, I enjoyed it then. Rewatching it now, it's just I didn't think a lot of the jokes held up. And the good jokes, I think just that played out, I've watched them so many times younger that they just don't really hit like they used to. So it's just, occasionally I'd get maybe a chuckle or a smile here or there. Agree with him. Yeah, it wasn't shot very good. A lot of the acting was pretty bad. And there was just a lot of annoying, the slapstick stuff just kept going and going. So overall, I didn't really. It probably would have been better to keep this movie. Thought in the past where I thought better of it, but you made me rewatch it, and I can go, I don't enjoy this movie anymore. So I'm going to give it a 1.5 out of 5.
Oh, so I'm not the only one dying now.
Yeah.
All right, Coco.
So I have to say, I used to enjoy this movie. I watched it back when I was I watched it back when it was on Netflix a while ago. They removed it. Never we could find it on any other place. So I'm kind of glad that I got a chance to rewatch it. I didn't enjoy it as much as I did back then. I just feel like it was, I don't know. I just feel like it's so many humorous flaws. Some of the parts was really funny. Other part was just eh. So overall, I'll give it a 2.5 out of 5.
Okay.
All right.
Tay hated it the most.
Tay's the 1.5 out of 5 meme now.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I will gladly take that title from Coco.
Well, you see, you can't take it because we all have to be at a higher score than you. That was the main crux of the joke. Is we all did 4 and 4.5, and then Coco's there 1.5.
That's right.
That's the
right.
meme.
I will keep the meme about 3D or CGI or whatever is the meme.
That's
there you go.
There was no CGI in this movie. We couldn't even talk about it.
Yeah.
Action.
Yeah. Take goes on a full rant.
He's the whole movie was CGI.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Tay actually has a movie. Well, we hope he has a movie to recommend. What do you got for us?
Yeah, sure. I got let me a sec here. I know. So I'm actually going to recommend, or not recommend, I guess, force us to watch Apollo 13 from 1995, directed by Ron Howard, written by Jim Lovell, Jeffrey Kluger, William Broyles Jr., Al Reinhardt. I don't know how to say that. The first two they actually wrote books about Apollo 13. So, anyways, it stars Tom Hanks, Bill Paxton, Kevin Bacon, Gary Sinise, Ed Harris, Kathleen Quinlan, to name a few. There's actually a lot of people. And there's no synopsis. It's Apollo 13, the space shuttle that didn't make it to the moon.
Yeah.
I have a synopsis right here if we really need one. But
the true story. Right. Yes, go ahead.
NASA must devise a strategy to return Apollo 13 to Earth safely after a spacecraft undergoes a massive internal damage, putting the lives of 3 astronauts on board in jeopardy.
Honestly, the only thing about this movie I remember is Tom Hanks peeing into outer space. That's the only thing I remember.
Oh, you don't remember Houston? We have a problem? Come on.
Well, I mean, that's a common phrase nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, now we know where it's from. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
This is
yeah, I
another
haven't
one
seen
I
this
haven't
one since I was a
seen
kid.
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I
I
probably
haven't
haven't seen this in over 20 years at this point. So
Ooh.
I thought it'd be fun to watch it.
So it'd be fun to watch this movie too.
Yeah.
Tay's got a rocket
How'd you-
theme now because October Sky, now Apollo 13,
Yeah,
Yeah.
really.
right.
Guns Akimbo. There was rocket launchers in that.
True. You're right.
Over
That's
to
How'd
my
you
Nick.
think
nickname.
there was CGI in Scary Movie 3, by the way?
Well, where?
The scene where the UFOs are coming in? Wasn't that
I think
CGI? Or was that?
it might have been green screen, might have been CG.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think it was
So-
just green screen models.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, the one that overused it, I think 5 was the one that like had so much in it that it just made the movie even worse. But
The only thing I remember about 4 is Charlie Sheen having an erection so big that he jumped out the window and didn't hit the ground.
yeah, I remember that.
And I was like, huh, that's the tone of this movie, huh?
Well, they had to kill off Charlie Sheen somehow because all the other characters came back. Even
Yeah.
even Cindy's friend came back.
No, that's right. Yeah, I thought I remember that. I was like, doesn't she come back in the next one somehow?
Yeah, somehow.
Oh. Well, we'll discuss that when Nick suggests that or recommends it next time.
Oh, sure.
Oh, you're just saying I'm going to do it? Huh?
Maybe you will.
Yeah, maybe Coco will do it after me. Who knows?
Oh no.
All right. Well, if you want to join the conversation or not be spoiled for Apollo 13 from 1995, make sure you watch it before the next episode comes up in 2 weeks. That's right. We'll come back in 2 weeks and talk about the movie Apollo 13. All right. I think that's about it. If you want to join in, once again, if you want to join in on the fan vote, that happens along with the next episode. So at the beginning of that episode, I'll go over all the nominees, I guess you could say, and then you guys will be able to vote on the movies that entire weekend. And once we know which one's done during Coco's recommendation at the end of that episode, we will reveal the winner, and then we'll talk about that one in 4 weeks. So be there or be square. Am I right?
Yeah.
All right. Don't forget
Yes.
to recommend your movie if you want to. We are always open to taking requests as long as they aren't Transformers movies.
That was Transformers.
I'll
Please
take
no.
the first one.
Yeah, if it's Bumblebee, I will accept Bumblebee.
Bumblebee or the first one, I'm okay with.
All right, Bumblebee
that,
or the
nothing.
first one. All right, write that down. And
Write that down. Write that down.
Or the 80s cartoon.
Now they're going to vote anything but Bumblebee in the first one.
Yeah.
There's a
says it's
door
gonna
in
vote
my way.
Transforms.
all right, let's make like John Cena and disappear. I am Yemmy the Ferret, and I've been here with,
Pretty awful.
Taymation.
In Coco Gamer.
and we are Film Freaks with a Z. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Browns.
See ya.